Welcome to the most forward-thinking, inspirational podcast on the planet. Prepare to reevaluate everything you've been taught and get ready to launch your mind into an entirely new reality. If you've always felt there had to be more to life, more to existence, then you're listening to the right podcast. Get comfortable, pour yourself a drink, sit back, and let your host, Adam R. Walton, expand your horizons. This is going to be good. This is going to be fun. This is going to be mind-bending. Time to think.
And here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mental Mastery Alliance. We have with us today a fantastic guest, a very good friend, practically a brother. Definitely a brother, but practically my brother. This is going to be an interesting show because I've danced around and spoken on what happened to me earlier this month. I've subsequently lost my voice, wasn't able to speak, so I didn't really fully address it. And I've had a lot of people ask, and I've told the story, partially, but this is going to be the episode where I talk about the hospital, the surgery, men's health in general, but men's health for sure, because we men are very stubborn. You women listening, poke your men right now to remind them how stubborn they are. The guest today, again, is Randy Spencer. And you guys may remember that Randy Spencer went through a heart attack, ironically, a year ago, almost to the day. It was definitely, we're 12 months into it. And I had him on the show, and we spoke about what it was like and what his experiences were. And it was this podcast that I actually put on at 2 a.m. when I had nobody to talk to and everybody's asleep and I'm trying to figure out if I'm having a heart attack. It was that podcast that I put on, which reminds me of just how important that these conversations really are. So if you're looking for conspiracy, there's not going to be much of it today, but we might dabble a little bit just for fun. But for the most part, this is all men's health, and this is all pure love from me and from Randy and from everybody involved to you. If you've been thinking about getting checked out, if you've been thinking about getting tested for anything, or if you've got any concerns at all inside your mind right now, even if you don't, this is your reminder to get out there, get a look at it, do anything, just be proactive, because you just never know. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Randy Spencer.
Well, hello. Well, happy to be here.
Yes. Welcome back, my friend. This is, I think, what is it? This third time maybe? Yeah.
For sure third. Yeah.
Might be a fourth. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I'd have to go back through, but definitely for sure a third. It's fun to have you. It's fun to have you on, because just the way our lives have gone, you and I have been friends. Well, we've been acquaintances since we were kids.
Yeah, exactly. And then finding out we know like all the other people that we know together, but haven't been in the same circle at once to know that we knew all the same people.
That's right. And then to randomly come in across you in a chat room when you're based out of Edmonton and I'm in Toronto, completely two different cities than where we originally started. Fascinating tale. We probably spoke on it before, but I mean, you have to know I adore you. I adore your friendship.
I love you the same.
It's just one of the most beautiful things, and it's been kismet. Before I really get into what happened with me and you, well, actually, to get into that, when you came out of hospital and you were talking about the pains, and we had you on the last episode. It's episode 76, ladies and gentlemen. You can certainly trail back to episode 76. There are two episode 76s, believe it or not, and they're both Randy. So if you just punch in episode 76, he'll come up. So this would be the third one, because so this should be episode 76 times 3. But yeah, so here we are. You go through your ordeal, and it shook me, because we're the same age, roughly the same build, and it's just shocking, kind of what you went through. And you happen to be an insurance salesman. So you did your best, father's eyeball, through the phone to me and be like, you should probably get yourself some insurance. And I said, I'm never going to need it. That shit will never happen to me, in my arrogance and ignorance. But then I was like, it might happen. So I signed up, and I'm fully insured because of you. And because of that, because I'm self-employed, that insurance took care of my hospital stay. And most people in Canada would say, well, you're on, OHIP in Canada, you don't have to pay for anything. But this insurance paid me. So while I was hung up and not earning, the insurance was paying. So I was still making money while I'm in there. And actually to this day, I'm still getting paid out, because I think with your policy, it's like 10 or 15 days after you're kicked out of the hospital, you're still getting paid.
Yep.
Which I thought was ridiculous at the time. But after my surgery, I'm like, I'm going to be fine. Like, I got out of the hospital on Tuesday. My brain is like, you're good. Like, you're good. Don't even worry about it. Like, I can't believe you wasted all that time in the hospital. Should have just been a day surgery. Hit you with a knife and get you out. That's how your brain is running. At least it was for me.
Yep.
And then, and then I get home and I'm like, I'm fucking tired. and I was tired. And then my body, sort of accepted and realized that it had just gone through major surgery. My surgery, ladies and gentlemen, was emergency gallbladder removal surgery. And it started at midnight, and it came, as far as I was concerned, it came completely out of the blue. I didn't know what to expect. And like I said in the intro, I actually turned on the episode with Randy, because at 2 a.m, there's nobody to call, and no guy wants to panic anyone. If you're in Canada, there is telehealth, which I eventually called, but this was an ordeal. This was a straight up ordeal. And when you're alone facing this and you don't know what to do, I mean, it's so easy to listen to and to think about and to be like, oh, I'll do this in that situation. But I personally came face to face with what I believed was it. My body was like, you've never experienced pain like this before. This isn't normal. Like, you ain't getting out of this one alive. Like, you had a good run. And I'm only 40, but my body was like, bro, this is it. And my brain hit me with the anxiety, and sort of pushed me back. And when you give yourself the anxiety, even though you've done it to yourself, it doesn't matter, because whatever's real or imaginary, if you believe it, it's just as real as if it was real. So you're going through the same thing, whether it's happening or it's not happening. If you've made it up in your mind, or if you've been true about it, if it's the truth, it's just as real. So coming face to face with your own mortality, even though you thought it up, is an interesting experience, to say the least. And in theory, had I walked this pain off and had it passed, the next one probably could have killed me, because what had happened with me was my gallbladder had turned gangrenous, and it was seeping, or had begun to basically eat itself alive. And it would have then started seeping slow death into my system. For some reason, I can't think of the term off the top of my head. I want to say sepsis, but it's not. It's whatever it is. Gangrenous. Anyway, bad. So again, back to my episode with you, and Randy, thank you for listening as I'm sort of explaining this to the audience. But my episode with you, I put it on, and some of the clips here, you said it felt like something was sitting on your chest. Do you remember the moment now, a year later? Do you remember how it played out for you?
I still remember it. Yeah. I don't think I'll forget that. Or even like I could probably recreate the exact positions that I was in, where I was like trying to lie on my bed and kind of just stretch to the heavens and open my chest up, because it just didn't make sense. But I remember that like it was yesterday.
So this is one of those things that's firmly etched in your mind. Sure. Yeah. And you had said you were coming out of the shower and you felt this pain. Now for me, and this is a great episode because you and I can soundboard back and forth, because these are two very major and very real things that men deal with.
Yeah.
The gallbladder it doesn't seem serious when you talk about the gallbladder, but it is. Ironically, this is a true story. The nurses that were in there told me this, and people had corroborated this. The top 3 pains a human can go through medically. Mm-hmm. Number 3 is kidney stones. Number 2.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Yeah. Number 2 is childbirth, and number 1 is explosive gallbladder. So I I'm up there with the ladies when it comes to childbirth. Now I know what it feels like. So none of y'all can yell at me.
I'm going to have to step away from you from that one if my wife's listening.
Oh, she'll be listening. And you can tell her, you can't throw that at me anymore. I know. Yeah. Maybe you had 3, but that's definitely more than me. I couldn't imagine going through that pain 2 more times. Like if I had 2 more gallbladders to come out, I'd be like, get them out now. I don't give a shit. Just preemptively remove them.
Yeah.
And you and women are out there just having kids all over the place. Like, whoa, that's crazy shit. No, it's a scenario, man. So with yours and your warnings, did you have leading up to it, and in hindsight now, sort of looking back to it, prior to that moment, I remember, well, I don't even have to remember because I just listened to the episode. You were at the gym. You were going ham.
Oh yeah, I was doing full jiu-jitsu that day.
Yeah. So you come home like a sweaty mess, and then everything's totally normal, or you had some sort of warning signs. Did anything show up in hindsight now that you look back on it?
No, it's like when I think back to it, like, because I've been losing weight this whole time. So I was on like a full kick of losing weight. I was down 30-something pounds. So it's like, I felt great. Nothing outside of what was normal to me as regular pain that you deal with when you're, in the gym, losing weight, doing overexerted. You just kind of numb all that out and say it's normal because you're so accustomed to it. So you don't even have the time to process if anything of that was out of the norm.
No, it's true. And men in general, we just walk it off, or we have a high threshold for pain. So anything that you could be out of the norm, you'd be like, I'm just going to deal with it. And to the men and women listening to this show right now, you know full well that you've had like 3 or 4 things wrong with you. And you're like, if one more thing shows up, I'll go to the doctor. Right. And then one more thing shows up and you're like, one more thing. Right. So now you're like, you keep compiling.
Oh, and I'm still stubborn to this day. Even after that, I'm like, I still haven't gone to get my, prostate check or whatever they do, the month of November. And I'm like, I'm 41. But I'm stubborn to it.
I know. I don't have any, I don't know how I feel about, the prostate. I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm sure that somebody could tell me how I feel about it. But I don't know. It's just one of those things where you're like, I mean, there's all these connotations, and in a politically correct world, you can't sit around and go, I don't want to thumb up my ass, but the reality is it's intrusive, and maybe I don't want that, but maybe I have to get that. Like, I don't, that's, again, men all over the world. What do we do? And then, the majority of my audience is female. And they say, you men are hilarious because we have our lady tests like all the time. And you really do, ladies. And a testament to you, you are so much more prepared at being human than we ever could imagine to be. And I will bow to that. You guys really are good at taking care of yourselves and us as men.
Well, you know what the crazy thing is, though? Being in the hospital, that I found out is that women actually suffer more heart attacks than men.
Which is not something that you hear.
You don't hear that, and you don't even see it. It's like I was in rehab, and it was mostly women. Like it was like 55, 60. I was the youngest cat in there, but
sexiest too, probably.
But it was mostly women, and you don't hear those things because it's just hidden away. People don't talk about it. The lady that was in the hospital room with me, she was female, like side-by-side bed, and she'd had a pacemaker, and she's probably 15 years older than me. It's not spoken of, and I don't know where that is, because it's a whole underbelly you don't pay attention to. You blindly just allow it to happen.
What, in your specific case, because you're a heavier set fella, you were a CFL linebacker for 40 years as a tank, long time. Played football your whole life.
Yeah.
Right. So you you were designed, your body is designed to stop things from moving forward.
Yeah, I like hitting people. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, and short of people, you'll flip over minivans. I know that too.
Yeah.
So the question is like, what was when the doctor came to you, like after everything's all said and done, and he said, "This is the reason you had this heart attack." Did you get that call? Did you get that memo? Do you know why you had a heart attack?
There's no specific one thing. The crazy thing for me is I had an extra artery that was directly across from the one that was blocked. Mm-hmm. So I kind of tell myself now I'm superhuman because they're all open. But,
there you go.
But yeah, it was just, I don't know why it chose that one artery to kind of clog up. It wasn't like massive everywhere else, but yeah, 90% blockage. So it's just fats and whatever lifestyle that you're not even paying attention to could just start accumulating somewhere. And yeah.
And with that, were you given a different lifestyle trend? Did they say now maybe you should cut these out permanently?
No.
What happened with that afterwards?
Nothing's permanent. There's a lot of life changes that you should make. Yes. Mm-hmm. For me, because of my age and the amount of exercise I already did, like that's the thing is like you learn so many things about this. Like you hear that 20-year-olds are getting heart attacks. Yes, and it's not attributed to age or anything, but like healthy military born people, like it's just the way that your platelets that your platelets move and the sizes and how you build cholesterol and so on. It's not dependent on age. There's different types of cholesterol that you're not even aware there's 3 types of cholesterol, right? And going through this place called the Heart Fit Clinic, they kind of bring you through and show you, okay, well, this is bad, this is good, this is where you want it to be. And no one has this regular education that is so specific to some people in their specialized fields. But if you'd known about it, you'd be like, oh, I could have, helped myself here, helped myself there. I did a food sensitivity test that shows me which foods my body actually doesn't like. So you don't even notice that when you start eliminating those. What's that?
What'd you learn about yourself from that test? Because I'm very much that's the next thing for me is the food sensitivity test and going to the Life Labs and getting the entire grease my wheels work over.
Oh yeah, like the food sensitivity test was so eye opening because I'd always learned, okay, like working out, I would be drinking eggs, like egg whites. I'd be eating a ton of vegetables and eating chicken. That was my day. Like I'd wake up and drink a 500 milliliter carton of egg whites. Well, you do the food sensitivity test and it tells you one thing that your body hates the most is egg whites. Not even the yolk, just egg whites. You're like, oh. And,
so I'll just switch to yolks then. No problem.
Well, but the thing is you're not paying attention to like, say you feel gassy or you feel bloated, whatever. You think it's normal because you've eaten this your whole life. But the second you pull away some of those foods, you begin to understand it's not normal. And then you feel way better. And the more of those foods that are in the red part of your food sensitivity test, the more, the better you feel. And then you get away from those completely. Life is a whole different thing. But you're not tuned into that because you've been so accustomed since your parents give you Cheerios. Cheerios might not be good for you, but it's just
Cheerios are absolutely not good for you. 100% Cheerios are not good for you. I will state 1,000 times over. Look at anyone that's listening right now. Go to your cupboard, grab a box of Cheerios if you've got it. It's literally got floor cleaner in it, trisoglycerin something or other. It's got floor cleaner, straight up industrial strength floor poison. So no, do not eat Cheerios.
No,
and Cheerios, feel free to sue me or explain to me why you're putting floor cleaner in cereals.
But that's the thing. Yeah. You're given so many things, and you think, okay, well, my parents like tomatoes, I should like tomatoes. And then you look, and you're like, oh, that's too acid for my body. whatever.
Yeah, tomatoes are like a nightshade. Like that shit blows my mind. My sister, for example, can't eat cucumbers. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Can't eat a fucking cucumber? Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? It's just 90% water. And she goes, I just can't eat it. Like, it kills me. And I'm like, that's crazy. And then it's the same with tomatoes. Tomatoes are like, to me, a perfect staple.
Yeah,
right? But
exactly. Same here.
They crush people. I'm like, what's wrong with you? You can't eat a fucking tomato. Right? And then society says, make fun of this person because they can't eat tomatoes. You know, it's like you're so weak you can't eat a tomato. Like, geez, what are you doing at salsa time? Like, you just go home? Like, what's up? Yeah. You know, so and all this stuff, like, we don't know anything. And our ignorance is where our dry, nasty sarcasm comes from.
Yeah.
But yeah, that food sensitivity test it's no joke. It's a big thing.
No joke. I've sent so many people to do that just because of what I know now. It's and you still mess it up. It's like I looked at it and it had hazelnut on there. I was looking at it yesterday actually. And I was like, man, why am I like feeling like this? And I was like, oh, that's probably like the 4 spoons of Nutella I had. You know, like I shouldn't be eating this hazelnut. And it's like the only one nut on there. Like, you know, it's funny the weird things that are on your list, like radishes for me. I'm like, not that I'm a fan of radishes to begin with, but
well, don't miss that one.
Don't miss that one.
Yeah,
but it's interesting, right? To say the least.
100%. And again, this is stuff, men. I'm addressing you because I'm a man, and I don't profess to speak on women, but men, pay attention. Men. Women, I will say, help your man. You know, pay attention because it's true. This gallbladder. So what your gallbladder does essentially is your liver creates a bile. The gallbladder stores the bile. And then when you eat fatty foods or certain foods or any foods, really, your gallbladder then goes nuts. So for the longest time, I've been doing intermittent fasting, which is not eating all day and then eating big-ish. And that's like the worst thing I could possibly be doing for myself, like the worst. Right. Yeah. So now I can't do that. Now it comes down to, eat, as many meals as you can, small meals a day. Simply because what's happening with my liver is creating the same bile it always was, except it's just constantly dripping it into my colon, my intestines. So there's no bladder, there's no stop up system to prevent that. But the weirdest thing is I must have been dealing with my personal issue. I must have been dealing with my gallbladder for quite a while, because some of the signs that I have, and this is an interesting thing. I had psoriasis I've had mild psoriasis almost my whole life. But I had rough psoriasis, like bad psoriasis, scalp psoriasis, and all that sort of stuff for like the past 2 years. And it was like bad. But I'll tell you, after I got this done, and here's another thing too. I had pain in my legs and numbing down my left side. And I had assumed that was from sciatica that I suffered from, the remnants of the sciatica. But that cleared up. So what that means is primarily what the doctor said to me was a few things in your body you're going to start feeling better, because your immune system has been in full war mode with your gallbladder. Now, your average gallbladder, for example, your average gallbladder is the size of an edamame pea pod, and my gallbladder was the size of a sweet potato.
Oof.
And so when I went in, I'm under the most excruciating pain. Like basically, women, it was labor pains, full on. You're 42 inches dilated, labor pains. That basically is what they described it as. But what it felt to me was like waves of fire radiating across my skin. I felt like I was on fire at times. What scared me the most was the gripping part of my heart. Like it felt like something had a hold of my heart. And that's when I gave myself anxiety. And then also with the pain, I couldn't fully take a breath, the diaphragm, because it felt like I was getting stabbed in my diaphragm, because your gallbladder is right below your right tit, right in by your liver. And then when you try to breathe in, it pulls, and it was just snapping, and the thing was so swollen. Anyway, I get into the hospital and flash forward, all this just excruciating pain. They get me on a pain drip, which I'm so thankful for, because eventually it sort of numbed it. And I could sort of get some sleep, or at least close my eyes for a hot minute without this incessant pain. But what happened with my gallbladder normally is, sometimes you have gallstones, which you can pass, and sometimes you have gall sludge, but it's very rare that you have stones and sludge. which is what I had. And then when they got in there, they realized it was also gangrenous. So it was eating itself. It was killing itself. And it was, if it had gone unchecked, it would have started cannibalizing all the other organs it was touching. And it was touching a lot of organs because it was so big. So your standard surgery is about half hour, 45 minutes. You're under. I ended up being under for 2.5 hours. And they have to fill your gut full of gas so that they can move stuff around. So they bloated me out. They started poking around for 2.5 hours. And I'm fully asleep, obviously, anesthesia and all that. But it's an experience. I actually woke up. I don't know if you, when your surgery, if you had to undergo surgery or anything like that. I think you did, right? You were in surgery.
I've woken up during surgery before, yeah.
Well, I didn't wake up during surgery, thank God, because that'd be weird. Actually, I would have asked for a selfie.
That I woke up during my surgery with my shoulder wide open.
You grabbed a beer. I'm like, this is fucked up, guys. Help me out over here.
Put me back out.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to be seeing this shit. But so this surgery here, I guess I don't know if they didn't mess up the anesthesia. They just doubled me down. Yeah. So I woke up. The funny thing is I woke up swinging. Like I came out of the anesthesia like, wow. Like, it's just like, I don't even know what it was. I came out swinging and I was like shocked. And the nurses were like strapping me down and I'm strapped in. I know I'm strapped in. Like all of a sudden I'm conscious and I'm freaking out. Lasted for a split second. Then I'm like, okay, where the fuck am I? Right. All you hear is the nurses, calm down. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm so sorry. She goes, it could be worse. A lot of people wake up and just throw up, So it's like, okay, well, that wasn't me. But yeah. And my nurse friend, he laughs. He goes, it's your stories that we talk about. Hey, all the nurses talk about people like you who snap out of surgery and anesthesia and freak out. But yeah, that was a funny experience coming out of full anesthesia. It's like I was astral projecting or whatever. My body was or my soul was drifting around and I came crashing back into my body. Well, that's what it felt like.
You pulled a Dr. Strange.
Yeah, if I was standing, I would have knocked myself over. Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what happened. So that's definitely what it felt like. So maybe I wasn't even there. Who knows? I don't have all the answers on that sort of shit. But I mean, I will say without a shadow of a doubt, anesthesia was a weird thing. And then the healing process began. So, I mean, to backtrack a little bit, the pain that I was feeling, was showing in different ways because my body was not able to fight anything but the gallbladder.
Yeah.
And so I was getting, strange pains. I was getting strange lesions on my skin, peculiar spots. All of this random stuff, ladies and gentlemen, just random small things that were happening to me, were related to the fact that my immune system was completely compromised as it was it was running, 95% at all times fighting my gallbladder. I was lethargic. There was, certain times. And this was the funny thing because I'm also in full swing. I'm also in weight loss mode. I'm also doing all this sort of stuff. So I'm pushing my body to the absolute limits. And the only way to sort of keep myself going was to keep pushing and then to eat more. And for like 4 or 5 years, my body was like, eat shit. And that was it. I mean, that might be too much information for my audience. I apologize. But like you said, you don't know because everything that you do in private is what you assume is kind of the way it is. But with this gallbladder out, now it's like I'll eat and then the dinner was good. And then the next morning I'll wake up and brush my teeth and use the bathroom normally and carry on about my day. Like I'm not constantly in pain sort of in that area. So, I mean, there's a huge thing to be said about paying attention to your body. And because you don't know, you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. I will say this, if anyone has any questions about what they think they're doing, or if they have anything that they want to address and they don't know who to ask or what to ask, you can certainly shoot us an email, info at the Mental Mastery Alliance. I'll answer the emails and sort of give you the best I can on sort of my experience versus that. Like if you guys are going through something similarly, it's a matter of tests. Like literally blood tests will get this stuff worked out. And you can go and you can get this stuff checked just if you have any concerns. And I think it's amazing that just how much we take for granted. And how much we we just sort of accept our body for the way it is when we could be running optimally.
Yeah.
I mean, your food allergies test. That I'm glad that you brought that up, because that's a mandatory. I mean, that is a mandatory thing for everybody to have done, just so that you can right out the gate curb your thing.
Yeah, it's true.
And for me, my one of the major dietary things for me is basically the number one thing that they say to not eat is like fatty foods, and especially pizza. So like my two favorite things in the entire world are gone. Oh, pizza and wings.
Yeah.
Maybe once in a blue moon I'll have them again, but I know that for the rest of my life they're no longer an option, when it was like a once a week meal for me.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I mean you still eat that stuff, I'm sure.
Oh, here and there. You know me, I've done quite a few different challenges and things with either water fasting to diet, vegetarian and all that. I like to test myself in many different ways, but it's now that I know each part, I feel like I can pull it all together and put something together that's going to be long lasting, so that I can still have those fun times here and there in between, right? So
yeah, and a lot of people will say that too. They'll say things like, it must be so hard to have given this up or to have changed that. But when your mind says don't do it, it's not like it would actually be more work to go back to doing something like when you quit drinking, for example.
Yeah.
People are like, how did you stay? How have you stayed sober for so long? I'm like, well, first of all, I don't view it as staying sober. I view it as no longer ingesting poison, right? And you have certain changes and certain shifts. So to get back to, by the way, are you still not having consuming alcohol? Or are you dabbling with that every now and again?
I dabble.
You're dabbling?
I'm not full back, but I've had a couple here and there.
What do you find they taste like now after like going months without having a drink?
Well, it's still delicious, but I don't know. It's not the same as before. I'll tell you that much. I wonder how to put that. I don't drink the same things that I used to, drink, or like a case
vodka
of beer.
Red Bulls are out.
Yeah, vodka Red Bulls are around this. Those are gone. But the first drink I had was I sipped on some whiskey with a cigar. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. I just enjoyed my time, and that was it. But nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, I think too, after you turn 40, things change, like just sort of in your mind. I know they did for me.
Yeah.
The idea of getting shit faced is like, well, why the hell would I do that? That's ridiculous.
Oh, exactly.
But for me, like, and that's the thing too. Like, I don't say that I'm a non-drinker. I just at no point has an occasion arisen where I'm like, I want this, So I mean, that's an interesting thing. So as life progresses, I've also always said that by 43, I'll probably be in the best shape of my entire life.
Yeah.
And you'll notice too that life pushes you in that direction. Right. So, I mean, your life could have been not so. And I can't get over the irony of the fact that, you went down a year ago, and then almost to the day, a year later, it's me that goes in.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. And so that's the thing. Men are the most stubborn people I deal with just through work. I could sit down with the, wife and explain what I do and go through the policies and all that, and they will see they'll see the benefit through and through. Mm-hmm. And then the guy will come in, because I'll do a second meeting, and I'll bring in the husband, and the husband will sit there with his arms folded to start, and then by the end he's like, oh yeah, we need this. Yeah, we need this.
I don't need this, says the arms folded.
Yeah.
Maybe I do need this. But okay, so here's another funny statement. Here's another funny statement about how lazy men are. I haven't filled the forms out yet to get reimbursed from the insurance or to get paid by the insurance. I mean, I know it's there. I've got the paperwork. It's ready to go. I've got all my documentation. I've just not finalized it. Right. So I'm already, I'm covered. I'm taken care of. But men are so lazy that I haven't dotted the I's and crossed my T's to get the check.
I have about 4 other claims that in the same boat.
I'm going to do it. I just haven't gotten around to it. It's just a funny thing. It is a funny thing being a man. So here you are a year later. Is there anything in your life that is totally different now than it was before this happened?
Mindset on it, quite a few different things. I just don't let things pass without like I tell people, it wasn't a life, it was life and death, but it didn't cross my mind that way because I didn't think for a minute it was going to be the end for me. I didn't look at it that way, but I also I'm capable of looking at it that way for things I need to accomplish in life, where I'm like, you need to get this done. You don't have any other chances, right? So I've taken on more things and done more. I've had probably the most successful year, even despite the outward mess of the world. But it's been extremely successful to the point that I've pushed myself to do things that I would have held off before from doing. That's the biggest change for me.
It's funny that you say that your mind wouldn't allow you to see it as life and death. And in my scenario, my situation, typically I'm not going to be like, that's it, I'm dying. And my threshold for pain is through the roof.
Yeah.
And when I look back on it now, I'm like, it's kind of absurd that I would have thought that I was dying, but that's clearly how much pain I was in. And like I said, when it comes out of nowhere, 2 a.m, 1 a.m, you don't know. you don't know. Yeah. And I remember saying to myself, if I'm dying, I'm going to put those pants on. I'm dying in those pants. So I put my death pants on.
People are accustomed to pain from accidents, right? It's like you stub your toe, you cut your finger. Everyone's gone through that. So they attributing, the regular accident to pain, especially when I'm doing insurance, is like, they're like, oh yeah, I need accident coverage, because they're so accustomed to accidents happening, but then no one can ever see or feel a sickness coming. Right? There's not something that you can say, oh, I remember when like the only thing is like the sniffle, my nose, my throat started getting dry, and that's what you attribute sickness to. You don't attribute it to a sharp acute pain that you went through having your gallbladder almost explode, right? That's not the type of pain you think sickness is going to render you.
Because if it's never happened to you, you simply can't put yourself in that position.
You can't put yourself there. So I sit down with people, and they, for some reason, they're always thinking, oh, but I'm so healthy. I've never been sick. Nothing's going to ever happen there. And I've had 35-year-olds pass out, like knockout, brain aneurysm. I've had a 28-year-old with a stroke. I've had a 19-year-old with cancer. I could go through the gamut of things that people have told me this will never happen, and it's happened. And you don't feel sickness coming. And it's more important coverage than having accident, because it will, like 90% of the people in the actual hospital are there due to sickness. People don't stay in there for long times for a broken ankle.
No. And everybody that's in there is itching to get out.
Itching to get out.
Yeah. I was in there for 4 days.
Yeah.
And they're like, we might keep you one more day. I'm like, I don't have it in me to stay here one more day.
Yeah. I was there for a week. Go. Yeah.
I'll figure it out. Yeah. You were in there for a while. You were in there for how many days? 7?
7. Yeah. I got out on the 7th. Yeah. Right in the morning. And I was ready to go out the day I got in. I didn't think I was going to stay. Like, I was trying to go home the same night.
Excuse me. I was literally just about to say that. I wanted out of there. I'm like, can I go home tonight? Like, I had this huge class. Like, this all went down for me at midnight, and I had this very important class I was a part of at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning. This was Friday night at midnight. So this was Saturday morning at 1 a.m. And Saturday morning at 9 a.m. I had a class, and I was like, I really want to be. It would be terrible if I missed this class. She goes, you're not getting home. I'm like, oh, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
And that's your mind. You go in there, you're like, I can get out of here. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And your mind does say that, and you do play that trick on yourself. You're like, I'll be fine. So it is, when you get in there, you're like, I'm not these sick people, right? But I remember, I fucking remember, man. I was when I got wheeled in on the gurney because I came in an ambulance, And I was in so much pain. I'm like, bro, you got to get me out. Like, fucking get me off this bed. Get me off this bed, because I was like strapped in, and my whole body, I was like, I wanted to throw up. I wanted to, like, I could barely stand. I was clammy. My whole body was just shot. It was ice cold and on fire at the same time. It was the weirdest thing. And I'm like, I can't sit here. I don't know if I'm going to shit myself. I don't know if I'm going to puke, if I'm going to piss all over myself. I don't even know. My whole brain was like, right? So when they do the whole thing, they check me, and I'm hovering around the bathroom at this point, like just trying to, I don't know, walk it off. I don't even know what I'm trying to do. Right. Yeah. So, and then when you think back to it, like even in that almost hysteria, physical hysteria, my body's going all over the place. I'm like, I'll get out of here. This isn't permanent, So it's a fun thing. It's a funny thing how the brain works, and how, how it all changes everything. And the pain and the pressure that you all go under, you tend to forget. Like, I sent you that picture of myself where, like, I was under so much pressure, my eyes popped.
Oh yeah, your eyes.
Yeah, my eyes are finally starting to get. I don't know where the blood comes from or where it goes. But ladies and gentlemen, for a week there, I have crystal blue eyes. Quite stunning, actually. They were surrounded by blood, so my eyes were now blue and bloody. I mean, I should make that.
You were a super villain there for a minute.
And it looked really good, actually. For a minute there, it was creepy as shit. Like when it was in full blood mode, I'm like, and I asked the doctor, I'm like, how does this happen? He goes, your body was under so much pressure. Like, if this is how it released, that's just the way she goes. So, you just, again, we don't know. But there are steps you can take. And I also would urge anyone, I know that only a certain amount of people can talk to you about insurance and that sort of thing. But I urge anyone to do this. Like, that you have insurance policies from like $15-20 a month, like peanuts.
Oh yeah.
That will help in a situation where, if you're self-employed or if you're anything that, you can't, you're covered. It's small peace of mind things like the bills will be paid, or this will be paid, or that'll be taken care of. Like, when you have a million things to worry about, or you're in bed, to have one or two less things to stress about, like, will the rent get paid, or will this get paid?
100%.
It changes the game, when you're in there. I don't know where you're licensed. Right
Ontario
now, I think,
and Alberta for me.
Ontario and Alberta. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening and you're in Ontario, Canada, or Alberta, Canada, reach out to Randy if you have any interest in finding out more about this insurance thing. And this isn't an ad. Like, I don't give a shit if you do it or you don't do it, but it makes sense. It just makes sense. And I'm happy that, above all else, I'm walking away with $2,500 or whatever from this, simply because I planned ahead, and $2,500, whatever it is, a poke in the ear is better than a poke in the ear with a sharp stick, So there's so much to be said about moderate preparation. And I was chuffed. I got to admit, I was chuffed. I was like, I can't believe that paid off. You never think anything's going to happen to you. And I'm laying in bed going,
you did. You were like, I'm never going to get sick.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm actually insured. You're like, you should probably do it. I'm like, sure, whatever. I'm like, I'll just do it. I don't care. And then I did. Actually, you know what it was? This is what sold me on it. You had this whole policy about you can take care of yourself. You can do this. You can do that. I didn't give a shit. The whole stubborn side of me was I didn't give a shit. I still didn't give a shit. And you're like, well, what about, if you get this policy and you add like an extra $2 or $5 or whatever, then you have an insurance policy. Like, if you die, somebody is a benefactor. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. So it was like an extra $2 or $5. I don't even know.
$6 for $100,000 of coverage. Yeah.
So if I die randomly, my niece gets like $150,000-$250,000. And that, I was like, you know what? $6? I'm like, sold. That's it. That's all I needed. Like, that's the reason I got the insurance, was for my niece. And it benefited me within 10 months.
Yeah.
So, and I'll tell you this too, if you're under 40, this is something that they don't really talk about, they being the world. If you're under 40, everything's okay for the most part, right? If you're in perfect health and you reach 40 and you're in perfect health, within a month of you turning 40, the universe is going to hand you something.
It is.
And you can ask any 40-year-old, and anyone above 40 right now is probably thinking back to when they turned 40 and they found out the thing that the universe gave them at 40.
Yeah.
Because it's cruel, it's mean, but it's all part of growing up, I guess. So if you're in perfect health and you turn 40, that's the end of her. I'm not even out of my 40th year, and I've already done a stint in the hospital. So
yeah. People don't understand until they understand, and it's, I don't know. There was a 43-year-old that had an ulcer, and it got worse because he got the wrong medication. Ended up in the hospital for 4 months.
Jeez.
On the minimum plan we had on him, he still walked out with $50,000 from the hospital. Paying $45. Yeah. It blows my mind every time.
Yeah, and the people are like, nah, it's not for me, you know. And again, I'm not running an insurance ad here, but like honestly, it's the shit you don't think about. And if you're under 40 and you still don't want to think about this, but you're enjoying this episode, great. If you're with us this far, great. If you're over 40 and you're starting to make grown-up decisions, you know, insurance is one of them. And obviously, if you're not,
19-year-olds that have better plans than 40-year-olds, like, that actually get it. Like, I have 19-year-olds that I have a critical illness plan on them. I have, disability. I have on the hospitalization, all those different plans, and they're covered in every single which way because, one, they're taking advantage that they're young and it costs way less. But they actually get it because they took the time to get the education that most stubborn people don't take the time to get.
I have to say that that's a double-edged sword. I have to say, I will flat out say that if you try to insure me at 19 and I decided to take the insurance, I would have doubled down on the bullshit insanity that was my life from 19 to 35.
Yeah, I know that much.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. It's a double-edged sword. Like, me fully insured at 19, fuck. Like, watch out. Like, I'm going to be doing 200 on the highway. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, it's not the best. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm covered. Whatever. Yeah, you can't touch me.
True.
First of all, I'm invincible. And second of all, if I'm not invincible, I'm insured. So it's like wearing a bulletproof coat over your invincibility. Right?
Yep. Definitely.
To me, not a wise idea. Don't insure yourself until you're ready to fucking settle down. How many people have died because they were insured properly? I can do this. I'm insured. Oh, God. Famous last words.
Common sense isn't too common, though.
What you're saying makes sense. But to me, and to anyone like me,
you're a different ball in the different game. Yeah.
Sure, I'll do an entire 8-ball in one line. I'm insured.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to talk about my youth, but I'll tell you this. Actually, somebody said, if you could go back and change all the mistakes in your past, would you do it? And I guess the real answer, for me would be my life wasn't perfect. I fully admit to my life not being perfect. I fully admit to me making some mistakes. And I fully admit to being hurtful and disrespectful to other people, mostly to myself. Anything that I was ever hurtful or disrespectful towards was a reflection of how I felt about myself at the time. But I look back on it now and I can honestly say that if I changed anything, then I would have lost the lessons I learned from the thing. So as much as we hate our past and as much as we hate who we were perhaps from time to time, without being that person, we would never be the person we are today. And the entire reason we exist on this planet is to change our spots. And we believe that, a leopard can't change its spots. We believe that to be true. But that's the whole purpose. You're here to grow. You're here to be a dickhead, right? And you're here to overcome that. And you're here to be a better person. So yeah, if I was insured back then, I would have killed myself.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I think, we're up to about 49 minutes roughly here. And I think that, if we keep it shorter, we covered a lot.
We did.
Is there anything that you wanted to say? Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not in Ontario or Edmonton or Alberta, that's it's very small demographic. Actually, our number one demographic still somehow, I don't know how it happened, but it is San Jose, California.
Oh, sweet.
San Jose, California. And the irony is that, that's my second favorite city, and my second favorite hockey team was the San Jose Sharks. Like, just weird how the ethos hands me certain things. In San Jose, California, if you're listening, I love you guys. Still, get your shit checked out. Do what you have to do. Call who you have to call. Talk to who you have to talk to. if you have any concerns, this is your wake up call. This is your alert. Here's your sign. This is it. It may not be the one, it may not be permanent, but if one person hears my words, hears your words, and says I'm going to do it, and they get changed or they've benefited from this, then this whole show was worth 100 times.
That's it.
Anything else you wanted to add? I mean, this has been obviously sort of a fun and a healthy and an updated episode. But is there anything else, that you think is important that should be added to the heart attack, or to how you feel, or to what you should look for, in yourself?
Do a realization self-check to say that if something's bothering you, there's probably a reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not normal to be bloated every single day, or to have, gas or whichever. Those different bodily things that are happening, it's for a reason. Don't dismiss it.
Yeah. Swollen hands and swollen feet when you wake up in the morning, weird. And you'll hear a lot of people tell you things like, oh, it happens to me. It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to happen.
Don't normalize the death. Like, just don't.
Yeah.
You're like, if you're having back pain and it's coming from different times, it's set off from something else. Could be just your shoes, but there's a reason for every type of pain that hits your body. So figure it out.
I don't even think I mentioned that, but that's how this started for me.
Yeah.
This was started in my lower to mid back, right across both left and right side. Basically, the pressure from my gallbladder was pushing on everything in my body, and it was manifesting in my lower back. It was extremely uncomfortable in a very awkward and weird way that I would never in my life have attributed to my gallbladder. And it happened twice. Twice I had this really awkward and weird pain.
Yeah.
And both times I drank Pepto. So both times I drank like a nausea medication.
Yeah.
And it got
so you're numbing the pain from disarray, but it's not disappearing.
No. And the thing is, like I said, had I walked this one off, somehow miraculously just walked this one off, which is what I was trying to do for 3 hours before I went into the hospital. Had I managed to walk it off, the next one could have killed me.
Yeah.
And so if you've got these weird pains, I mean, random stuff, we're not here preaching fear, right? Because there's enough of that bullshit going on with the COVID and all that fucking crap. Fuck that.
Yeah.
What we are preaching is common sense. Things that There's a difference between fear your neighbor, fear this, fear that, everything's terrifying, fucking COVID, right? There's a difference between bullshit and you yourself sitting with yourself going, this doesn't feel right. This isn't right. I know I should do something about it, and I haven't. That's what we're talking about right now. When you've sat with that long enough, right now, here's your sign. Go.
Yeah.
Go look at it. That's the kind of shit we're talking about. I spent 4 days in hospital in the height of COVID, and there wasn't a single mention of COVID. There wasn't a single panic. There wasn't anything. There was just a bunch of people following rules. I even asked the lady, I said, are you guys just all blindly following rules? Or are you just, because it seems to me that every single person in here is simply afraid to make a truthful statement. The buck does not stop with any of these people. Nobody wants to put their statements on the line. Nobody wants to have an honest opinion. It seems like every single person in here is just doing as they believe that they're supposed to do, to not rock any boats or to stir any pots. Yeah. And she goes, that's basically it. Everyone in here is just walking on eggshells because they don't know really what to expect. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see sort of how much they push this. They've already put us back in full lockdown, the whole COVID thing. And they're like, if you have people over, we're going to fine you. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, to any law enforcement listening to this, I will be having people in my house on Christmas. If you come here, you're going to have to give me an extra $750 ticket if you enter my house. So come on in. I'll be paying tickets all day. It'll be fun. And everyone that does come, enjoy yourself. We'll have a good time. Yeah. Here's another thing too. I've made that statement, and now there's a possibility that there are some people, I don't think they're listening to my show, but there might be some people listening to my show that think COVID's real. And I would have just lost them as a fan. So, I mean, you know what, Susan? You think COVID's real. I'm sorry that you found out this way that I don't.
Oh my gosh.
But if you don't, then we're all on the same page. And if you didn't have a laugh during this episode, this whole thing wasn't about seriousness. And like I said, we're not really going to talk conspiracy, but I did throw in some COVID jokes. And I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, no, it was good.
I don't have too much more to add to that. But I always love our conversations, both professionally and socially. I fucking talk to you every
when
day.
We get to talk to each other the most at length. So.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. But I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure I talk to you like every day. If I haven't talked to you in 3 days, I'm like, where the fuck are you?
Well, yeah, what are you doing? Why are you ignoring me, man?
Why are you ignoring me? Good times.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Okay.
I guess in the infamous words of Red Green, keep your stick on the ice.
Thank you for listening to today's Mental Mastery Alliance podcast. Let the team know you're listening by using the hashtag MMA and Mental Mastery Alliance. Want more motivation? Be sure to follow online on Instagram at Mental Mastery Alliance and on Facebook at Mental Mastery Alliance. And remember, your perception creates your reality. Make it a great day.
You got it, Pontiac.